What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
And we new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family without further ado. Let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
Last week I was taste testing German Christmas cookies. Today I'm going to share with you the differences in my personal run-ins with the law in both Germany and the US. What a weird mixed bag of content. Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. I am Donnie, and along with my wife Aubrey, we are two Americans currently living in Germany with our baby, sharing all of our experiences living and traveling throughout Europe. I hate talking politics on YouTube, and I've said this multiple times on our channel, but when we're talking about the police, for a lot of people this can't help but be a political topic, unfortunately. I think more so, this is especially true in the US, where the police have become such a hot button topic. So for those of you that think that this is what this video is, it's not. What this video is me talking about my personal and individual observations of police between the US and Germany through my interactions and encounters with them in both countries. Yes, because I have had encounters with the police in both countries, unfortunately. But we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, I have to say that my worldview is of course shaped by who I am and where I'm from in the southern US state called Oklahoma, and where I live now in a southwestern German state called Rheinland-Pfalz. But you may have completely different experiences, which I would welcome hearing in the comments below. Also, in both the US and Germany, there are lots of different levels and types of police forces in the state, federal, or even city levels, for example. But I'm not going to get into all of those specifics in this video. This video is about the basic, general, overarching term police in these two countries. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk about today in my video. 911 or 112. Here's the police in my view. For Americans watching, if you come to Germany, the word for police in German is Polizei. So technically different, but also basically the same. In general, this is what a police officer looks like in the US, and this is what one looks like in Germany. There are sometimes variations to uniforms based on what specific type of police they are or where they are located, but this is generally what you can expect to see. For me as an American, one of the most interesting things to find out when I first saw German police was what they actually carry on them. In a previous video where I talked about things I thought about Germany before moving here, there is a general belief that Europeans are so anti-gun that they don't really exist in Europe, and sometimes there can be false rumors created that European police officers don't even routinely carry guns. And that may be true in some cases for some other European countries, but I remember specifically when we first moved here looking to see if German police officers routinely carry guns, because I thought that they might not based on those American rumors. But I learned that the German police do in fact generally carry firearms. So overall, the general appearance and I guess what they carry actually isn't that different in my opinion and experiences, unless of course we are comparing German police specifically to the Texas Highway Patrol, which do look very, well, Texas. So besides the actual police officers...
Okay, so I know for us, there's a whole history about our police, right? And I know a lot of people say our police have to have guns because the American population is violent and all of our gun laws. I understand that. But what is the reason behind the Germans? Germany.
Comic section. The police are
themselves. The other iconic part to police forces are their vehicles, of course. So first off, in the US, I've seen a picture that floats around Facebook to show a supposed problem with American police forces, and that is this one. Of course, this isn't exactly a German police car on the left. That would actually be this. But the entire point of this post is kind of lost when I then informed these American friends that there are actually, in fact, undercover police cars in Germany as well, and non-undercover American police cars exist, of course, as well. However, I will definitely admit that in general, the German police cars are much more visible and recognizable immediately because of the bright colors they use, unlike American police cars, which sometimes, even if they aren't undercover, may require a second look to make sure it is in fact a police car and not a civilian vehicle. U.S. police...
Think about when we're on the highway and a car come behind us that looks like a cop car and be like, "It's a cop car."
You gotta double check.
Those lights on the side and things like that. And I think our police cars they want to blend in with the local culture.
I think that's silly.
Think about Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's been a long time since we've been there, but
they have holograms on their cars
yeah.
where when the light reflects on you, you can see that it's a police officer's vehicle. They do it to the tent where it's like you can kind of see it if you look at it hard enough. But then you have vehicles that don't even look like it's a cop car. It's a cop car that's just, there's an officer inside of a random vehicle, probably.
And I've seen some cop cars in Texas that is like, I thought that was old Billy Joe who be, doing the hydraulics with his car and things like that. So that's why I say I feel like it blends into the culture of the state or the region that we're in.
And this topic get even deeper than that.
Okay.
I'm serious. It gets deeper than that. Like, I want to scratch the surface just a little bit, but I feel like it's just,
Okay.
Nah, I ain't gonna scratch it.
They too sensitive.
Forces use an extremely wide array of vehicles, so I can't definitely say one make or model is the typical American police car, but generally some of the most popular are going to be Dodge Chargers or Ford Explorers.
We got so many vehicles.
The makes and models of police cars in Germany can also vary, with popular choices being Mercedes-Benz E-Classes or Vitos, for example. One of the other biggest differences you can't actually see are, of course, the sounds they make. No, not the vroom vroom sound, the wee woo sound. One thing I can speak from experience that our American friends and family who visit always comment about is how the sound landscape is different in Europe than in the US. In particular when it comes to the sounds of sirens, and some even comment that since they have only ever heard the European siren in Hollywood blockbusters, they feel like they are on the set for a Jason Bourne movie when they first hear it during their visit in Europe. So brace yourself, because here is the traditional American siren.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, that whoop whoop.
Let's get your attention. Hey,
And the German siren.
Oh, that would remind me.
Yeah, I was thinking ambulances coming.
Yeah. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
Remember our first time hearing it in South Africa, we thought it was an ambulance and we was on live and it was like, no, that's a cop.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would think it's the ambulance.
So I think the German vehicles, it presents more of a safety to the community when you see the colors, because it's like a hazard suit, you know what I'm saying? Like when people doing cross traffics and things of that nature. But to our vehicles, it's like black and white, Gotham City. They're holograms. You can't see us, but we see you type stuff. Surveillance in the shadows is like that, and I just think that's kind of like, that's a huge difference.
Right. I think, if I could recall correctly, I think I read a post on Facebook when they was changing over to the holograms, and it was like, this is so we can blend in more safely. I'm like, no, y'all just want to get the people who's speeding. It's enough they be hiding in the bushes.
Yep.
Speaking of sirens, I alluded to the fact that I have had some encounters with the police in both countries, so let me tell you about those experiences, because there are big differences in the interactions that I have had with them. And also, there's big differences in why I've had encounters with both.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
So first off, let me burst your bubble by saying that I don't have any kind of criminal history actually, but I have been pulled over on the road by police officers in both countries for traffic infractions. It's not that I'm a bad driver, it's just that I have an unfortunate medical condition called leadfoot, with the only cure being either police intervention or moving to Germany, where there are some sections of the highway without
Autobahn.
speed limits. So in the US, I've been pulled over for speeding a couple of times, and this typically happens when a police officer is either hiding their car behind like a bush, a sign, or something else that you can't see them sitting there watching for speeders. This is how it happened to me in almost all of the experiences, and the police officer would then pull behind me, turn their lights on, but if it doesn't get your attention, they might also do a short burst of their siren to get your attention. Once I pulled over, the solo officer parked the car behind me, walked up to the car, and then talked talked to me for a bit, ran my information if they deemed it necessary, and then decided if they were going to give me a ticket or just a warning. This is very different from what I've experienced in Germany. So I've been pulled over once in Germany, but it actually wasn't for speeding. And I'll get to that reason in a minute. Aubrey and I were driving one day on a day trip when I needed to turn left onto a cross street, but it technically wasn't allowed. We were way outside of town and there wasn't anybody around, or so I thought, and I figured I would just go ahead and make the illegal turn rather than turning right, than having to find somewhere else to turn around. However, I quickly saw a Polizei van racing up behind me. The German police car, rather than following me and turning on its lights like in the US, it actually sped around and got in front of me. If this happens in the US, then that typically means that they are going after someone else, and so I thought that I was off the hook because they weren't following me anymore.
Right.
However, as it got in front of me, a little sign lit up on the back of the van with the words "Bitte folgen." At the time, we were still new here, so I didn't know what that meant, but don't you worry, that sign then changed to English as if it read my mind to "Please
I don't know.
They then found a safe place for us
Wait
to
a minute.
Yo, he said they got a safe place for them to pull over.
Please.
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 Please slow. I thought I was gonna say slow down. This your warning.
Please.
Like, hey.
They using manners.
Manners is what I heard.
Oh Lord, we used to the shout.
I can get into some stories.
Okay, y'all, hold on. Quick disclaimer, y'all may hear children in the background. We are next to a school that is out. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they're at recess.
Having a good old time.
I pulled over and 2 police officers walked up on either side of my vehicle. The procedure was basically the same as in the US at this point, and they explained to me the left turn wasn't supposed to be done. Then they gave me a warning and sent me on my way. So the procedures of getting pulled over in both countries are slightly different, but that's not the biggest difference I've experienced with the police, or actually, I should say, not experienced with the police in Germany, I guess. For one, Germany doesn't really patrol streets with officers looking for speeders. So how do you get in trouble for breaking the speed limit, you might ask my American friends? When we very first moved here, I rented a car locally, and as I was leaving the shop, the woman working ran after me and said, "Oh, just a warning, they just put a blitzer on the Autobahn." I said, "A what?" And she said, "A blitzer." And I said, "Oh,
What's
what?"
that?
We both were so confused, she not understanding why I didn't understand, and I not understanding what the heck a blitzer was. Honestly, I can't remember if she explained it to me or if I didn't learn what it was until I was then flying down the highway and got flashed by a bright light. But I learned that for the most part, Germany controls speed on all road types with cameras and radar rather than an actual police officer patrolling.
Because they don't got time to be chasing after y'all. I'm telling you, I think that is more dangerous actually.
Yeah.
To chase after a person that's doing what they're doing on the road, because now you put more people in danger. Now I know it can be to sit in the same bracket as this person is driving fast regardless, but imagine a chase, trying to get away, dodging cars. I just think you put them in even more danger at that part. So yeah, hit them up with what they gonna get, like a mail, a text or something?
Yeah, like us.
Okay.
Get it in the mail.
Bad.
This can be permanent or portable. They can be disguised or somewhat obvious, but there are hidden cameras all over Germany waiting for you to speed by so that it can snap your picture and it'll let you know that you have a ticket coming with its bright flash. You then receive your ticket a few weeks later in the mail, which will have your lovely candid photo on it, a photo of your license plate, and all the information you need to pay your fine. Now, I'm not going to tell you how many of these candid pictures I have in my collection, but let's just say that I am very familiar with this process. But speaking of the speeding tickets, those were also a huge shock in Germany. And I guess you could say in a good way, because speeding tickets are ridiculously cheap in Germany. From what I am unfortunately used to in the US, it makes me actually question if this really stops people from speeding with such a small slap on the wrist. First off, both the US and Germany have general allowances they will typically give you crossing over the speed limit. For example, the general rule of thumb is 4 miles per hour or 4 kilometers per hour over the speed limit. The thing is, those look similar, but the conversions actually reveal a pretty big difference, and a vast majority of the tickets that I've gotten in Germany has been just above that general allowance that in the US would be in the allowance and wouldn't warrant a ticket. For example, I have a German speeding ticket for going 6 kilometers per hour over the speed limit, which is about 3.7 miles per hour, and that wouldn't really be a big deal in the US. And again, I'm not making excuses. I totally deserve those tickets for going over. I agree, just comparing how the different units of measurement and mindsets translate. These minor breaking of the speed limit in
Before we even go any deeper, don't go to the United States and go 4 miles over and thinking, oh, it's an allowance, and argue with that cop who come up to the car. They're gonna say there is no allowance.
No.
Okay, that's something that you keep in your mind.
Yeah.
Just keep it in your mind. If you get pulled over and they say you were speeding, baby, you were speeding. Don't argue.
Bruh.
Germany will generally get us a ticket of around 20 to 30 euro, depending on where you break the speed limit. Unlike in Oklahoma, where it'll cost you a whopping $172.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, the biggest ticket I've ever received in Germany was for going 24 kilometers per hour over and cost 98 euro 50 cents plus 1 point in Flensburg, but I'm not talking about that in this video. In Oklahoma, this would have cost me $203. Since we have lived in Germany though, the prices have been increasing, and my first few tickets were only for like 10 euro before they started increasing the prices, and I thought that these were especially cheap compared to what I was used to in Oklahoma at the time. One other thing that we've taken note of in Germany, and was actually subtly mentioned in my being pulled over stories, and that is the fact that American police do sometimes travel around in pairs or groups, but generally you see police officers on patrol alone, whereas in Germany, we've noticed that we generally see police officers at least in pairs a vast majority of the time. We've seen this and taken note of it so much so that I've even looked up to see if German police officers are required by law to work in pairs, and I found on the City of Hagen's police Facebook page this exact question asked, and they explained no, that they don't actually have to. But like I said, in the US, I'm used to seeing police officers generally working alone, enough that I notice it as a very big difference in Germany, where nearly every policeman or woman has a partner with them at all times. To be honest, I think this is a great practice and should be more encouraged, as it can hopefully provide more accountability and help in high-stress situations, rather than leaving it to
That's true. Calm it all the way down.
Police a situation. Of all the differences that I have found and noticed about the police in the US and Germany, the most shocking difference for me is what it requires to become a police officer. So, first off, police in the US are not awarded any kind of diploma or degree for completing training as a police officer, and there are also no college degree requirements to join the police. In terms of how long it takes to become a police officer, I found the City of Oklahoma City Police's website where they describe for their police force that police academy lasts approximately 28 weeks, and upon successful completion of the academy, the recruit is assigned to the field training officer program for 4 to 6 months. After this, the newly graduated recruits are assigned as solo patrol officers. So in total, it seems like we're looking at about 10 to 13 months of training before being able to go solo and fight crime. However, in Germany, the system is different.
Batman was on point.
To become a police officer, your training is a Bachelor of Arts degree and is a minimum of 3 years of studying before you can call yourself a police officer. So essentially, 1 year of training, at least in Oklahoma, versus 3 years of training in Germany, with German officers also receiving a university degree from their education.
I think that's something they need to amplify. They need to pick that up more. I feel like the police force is huge enough already as it is. I think they should now kind of turn it up a little bit to get people to get more involved in what they are expecting, because their force is already huge. People out there doing what they got to do, and some doing what they want to do. So it's like, let's kind of tighten it up now.
Yeah, and this is a public service job.
And they get bachelors for completing it.
Yes.
That's an accomplishment.
This is a public service job that needs to be taken seriously.
100%.
I don't like that people are just able to say, oh, I think I want to go be a cop.
Yeah.
No.
Today and tomorrow. They don't.
A huge difference. To see who made it this far into the video, the random question of the week is...
Let us know what you think.
France or Germany? Who has the best bread? Thanks
we're going to start right there, man. Make sure you guys check them out. Very informative. And big difference. Big difference.
25 vom 21. Und sollen wir mit euch zusammen den Verkehr runterbremsen. So verstanden.
Seid ihr bereit?
Let's get it. Let's get it. Yo, gotta mention it though, bro. The Autobahn is hella fast. I can only imagine how faster the law gets to go. I'm just saying, because that's like, you know
He
what I'm
said,
saying?
"Are you ready?" Like we in a rally car.
Oh, you remember them days?
Ja, hinten fühlt sich noch ein bisschen schlimmer an.
Tom sagt jetzt, was wir machen.
Wir haben jetzt einen Verkehrsunfall mit dem
Oh,
Demouchets.
Okay. Okay, people getting over.
Normally I do everything to avoid the police, but today I'm riding along. Did you know that the German Autobahn has its own police force? Tillman Hartung, seen here on the left, and Alex Lattendorf work as Autobahn police officers. They monitor traffic on a 220-kilometer stretch of highway in the German state of Hessen. And this is the car they use, a BMW 530 diesel with 265 horsepower. They also carry guns and wear bulletproof vests. So how dangerous is their job?
Gefährlich wird es natürlich immer, wenn wir auf der Autobahn das Fahrzeug verlassen müssen.
Violence is not an issue for you, like having to use your guns, you're not afraid of drivers being armed with weapons, these aren't necessarily your concerns?
Also in Deutschland müssen wir zum Glück nicht bei jeder Verkehrskontrolle damit rechnen, dass jemand eine Schusswaffe zieht. Wir sind natürlich dafür trainiert, immer zu zweit Verkehrssicherheit zu schaffen. Wir machen auch Kontrollen immer zu zweit, das ist anders wie in Amerika.
We are now on a mission to find out what's happening. Apparently there's an accident on the highway.
We drive through what the Germans call a Rettungsgasse, or a special emergency lane made by drivers on the Autobahn. Luckily, only cars were totaled. Remarkably, the drivers had only minor injuries.
Guten Morgen. Können wir euch irgendwas noch helfen?
Ja, eigentlich nicht.
Dann hat sich das alles aufgestaut, alle haben gebremst, alle nicht.
Ja, alles klar.
In the U.S., as you may know, the U.S. Highway Patrol is also responsible for highway safety. However, they do control speed as well.
Yeah.
And often is the case they hide behind bridges, as I know from personal experience.
That's why she said I be trying to avoid them. Okay, I knew something was going to click in this video. Okay, I understand her comment.
Listen, I think every American has a story about a police hiding. Baby, especially when you come to the South. I always got to say y'all about the South because that's our personal experiences, right? But when you come to the South and you're on our highways and they're hiding, like, the overpass is right here and they're on the hill.
Because what you doing up
so
there,
you
bro?
can't see them.
Backed up the
So if you speeding, they going to come rushing down that hill onto the highway. OMG. I remember this one time, y'all. I was in college, right?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the Florida story.
What happened in Florida?
On our way to Florida. It was dark. But go ahead,
that was back. That was actually a good story. I mean, he scared me, but that was a good one. But I was speeding. Oh, no, I'm not about to incriminate myself on this video. Never mind.
Girl, you
keep going. I'm not doing that.
Well, I'll tell it. She was speeding. No, I'm joking.
I was going to say I wasn't the first one in line. You know, they go after the first one in line.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes.
See, got to know what you're doing.
He was trying to get over.
We had like this one time we was driving, and it was really dark, and we didn't know we had a cop behind us. He must have drove with his lights off or what, but dude randomly popped up with his lights on. We was like, how long we been driving before we realized we had somebody behind us?
Right.
And he put us over, and he literally came to us and said, I'm just checking on y'all, make sure y'all okay and safe because y'all the only ones on the road tonight.
Right. I'm scared that you
I'm like,
pulling us over because we're the only one on the road.
I'm like, random. But thank you.
It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. We was coming back from Florida.
Yeah.
To catch speeders. But here, that's a different police patrol that controls the speed on the Autobahn. So you're not out here to catch speeding cars. What's your mission on the Autobahn?
Ja, bei der Autobahnpolizei sind wir hauptsächlich mit der Verkehrsunfallaufnahme betraut. Okay. Natürlich kontrollieren wir auch Fahrzeuge. Wir gucken, ob die Fahrzeugführer die nötigen Fahrerlaubnisse haben, ob die Alkohol getrunken haben, ob die vielleicht Drogen genommen haben.
Wir haben hier besonders auf der Autobahn internationalen Verkehr. Wir haben viel mit Güterverkehr auch zu tun.
Among the international traffic is a truck from Poland, which attracts the officers' attention. They quickly react to remove it from the road and bring it to a spot where routine vehicle checks are taking place.
They got their stuff in order.
After reviewing the driver's papers, checking his freight, and conducting a urine test, it turns out that he was indeed in violation of a few traffic laws.
Er hat keine Lenk- und Ruhezeiten. Auf den Lenk- und Ruhezeiten vermerkt er auch, wo er gestartet ist, wo er angekommen ist, sein Kilometerstand und so weiter, damit man das alles nachvollziehen kann. Das kann man in dem Fall nicht. Und das ist schon ziemlich schwerwiegend im Güterverkehr.
A potentially costly mistake for this truck driver.
In a traffic violation. And now they got to run all checks.
Definitely. That's why I was always the designated driver.
Yeah,
I'd rather me be the driver than one of my college friends, baby. Because what? Who about to give it go with you?
Heard that, yeah. How's everybody in the car tonight, man? Have anybody else been drinking? No, we just trying to get where we going.
Man, look, I
Don't
got
tell
some
it. Don't-
stories.
don't
I'm so
tell it.
happy that everybody just safe, Lord.
Right?
For drivers under 21, there is a zero alcohol tolerance policy. After that, drivers with a blood alcohol level from 0.5 are considered unfit for the road.
Ah, das sieht gut aus. Also hier wäre jetzt erstmal nichts auffällig.
Back on the highway, we're heading out on the next mission, and once again, very fast.
Beispielsweise die Geschwindigkeit fahren sie in den USA gar nicht, ne?
We reached 219 kilometers per hour. That's 136 miles per hour.
I feel bad for the people that are trying to get out of the way.
There's debris on the Autobahn. Officer Hartung performs a maneuver to stop the traffic behind us so his partner can remove it safely.
Now that I do agree with, bro. You know how many logs or something would fall off of a truck and people just have to drive around it? There's no patrol where
So
people need
dangerous.
to, like, and half the time the pedestrians will be the ones who will stop the car, run in the street, grab the brick or whatever's in it. Like, okay, if it's a pothole, we can't fix that.
Can't fix that.
We need y'all, the cuffs and all that to do that. But
Right.
when it comes to like wood and bricks and stuff like that, yeah, like I think it's important for police officers to catch that and get it off the road.
Yeah, the
ASAP.
worst debris is a bag just flying. Oh my God. I just be praying.
Bro,
please
the
don't come
simplest
in front of
thing,
me.
bro, a bag.
A bag.
Hitting that windshield, the wipers
Can't
ain't gonna
see
do
it.
it, bro.
Aw.
The wipers ain't even your friend that day either.
As you know, there's this big debate in Germany about whether or not
Hold on. Okay, before we get to the debate, what is the maneuver that they do to let y'all know that they need to do something? Because I saw everybody knew what was going on.
Yeah,
What maneuver would they do here?
for here.
All I know, if they get in front of us, we all gonna be like that. But we ain't gonna know that they trying to stop something.
Right, we just gonna all hit that, the speed limit was
Yeah.
supposed to be,
Yeah.
and we all gonna just be
Unless they put
trailing
on
each
their
other
lights.
and slow the traffic down. I never experienced
Yeah.
that though. I always
think
ran
so.
into that type of.
I
moment.
think I believe that I went through something like that when they had like construction and they had to reroute us
They would
through
have
a
somebody
small
on the
town
road.
or something.
They have somebody on the road with a vest.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
usually,
lights would get our attention. That's probably what would
usually,
get our
if I'm not mistaken, what they do is they will park the car, and when they see the lights on the side of the road, we instantly know to get over, right? And then they start putting the cones to the destination.
They
and
get
then
out and they
to-
start doing it.
Right, there you go. Then they
That's what
start
they do.
pointing stuff.
not to have a standard speed limit. So as police officers and as
Oh, her question.
you know, there's this big debate in Germany about whether or not to have a standard speed limit. So as police officers and as fast drivers. Are you for or against a general speed limit in the country?
Also meine private Meinung dazu ist, dass ich ein Geschwindigkeitslimit auf Autobahnen nicht schlecht finde. Privat fahre ich selbst nicht besonders schnell und auch im Dienst zeigt sich immer wieder, dass Unfälle häufig mit zu hoher Geschwindigkeit zu tun haben.
The speed limit debate in Germany has been going on for decades. About 65% of the entire Autobahn network currently has no limit.
Well, that was more excitement than I bargained for. What impressed me the most about these officers is how quickly they reacted to the action on the Autobahn and also how cool they remained under pressure. I definitely have a renewed respect for the work they do. I hope you enjoyed this video.
Heard that, man. Make sure you guys go follow and check out. One thing that I can say, when you driving at a speed like that in Germany, if you miss your exit, don't try to catch it. Don't try to slam the brakes. Just keep going. You might have to do a whole turnaround. I learned that the hard way when I first moved out here.
I'm sure you did.
Missing them exits.
Down here, it's 20 minutes.
Gotta take the whole turn. Oh, man. But yeah, bro, that's different. That's different.
Yeah. Okay. So I was looking at the Autobahn, and I was looking at like the highways and things, and it looks similar to some of our highways in the South.
Agreed.
And I'm just sitting there in jealousy because in Louisiana we have like the speed limit. Okay, it's been a while, but the speed limit is like 70, I think.
Max.
Yeah.
Max.
On the highway.
Well, it says 70,
but in Dallas, the minimum is 65. They say minimum. I ain't start seeing a minimum speed limit until I moved to Texas. Of course, driving on road trips and other places, but minimum.
Do you remember that one day we was driving? It was like in the middle of nowhere, just about.
Okay.
And the speed limit was go to 40, 60, 40, 60, 40, 60. You don't remember that? Okay.
Oh, we was driving through some back roads.
Mm-hmm.
We was driving through back roads.
And they had officers back there too. So if you was in any, wrongdoing of any of those speed limits, it's like, yo, I didn't see it. He caught me off guard.
Northern Louisiana.
Yeah, that's crazy. You don't experience that nowhere else, probably.
Baby, you ain't gotta worry about me doing no speed in Northern Louisiana, cause baby, them cops are going to come behind you and drive the whole time you on that road, behind you,
running everything.
As soon as you go up a little bit, they. Ain't got time. But that looks fun being on the Autobahn.
Facts. I still gotta experience it though. I need that.
Yes, he do by himself. All right, y'all. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.